After a month, a little more, we are back.
Hey, Kelley.
How you doing?
I am doing so much better than when I had COVID, which is a bit of the reason why we didn't do any recordings for a while.
Yeah, that started it for sure. That's why you were almost going to come over and then you got sick. So, that was a close call for me. But,
Yeah.
But then after that, I guess it's just been kind of a busy last month. Just things keep getting in the way. But I think we're about to the point where we're back on track.
Yeah, certainly been doing a lot more business travel. I think I finally have my airplane legs under me because for the first time in I don't know how long, I was able to fall asleep on an airplane. And it helped that there were like 22 of us flying from DC to Kansas City. So I had a whole thing to myself. And it helped that it was like a 7:25 Eastern time flight, so like a 6:25 Central time flight over here. But yeah, a lot of travel.
How long was that flight from DC to Kansas City?
I think it was like 2.5 hours. I think it was 2.5 hours from DC to KC, and then another 2.5 hours from there to home.
It takes 2.5 hours to get from Kansas City to here?
Maybe just 2, but...
No, it was 2, because I remember I was tracking your flight.
Okay, cool.
On my,
yeah. So, it was one of those flights where we flew and parked in Kansas City, and they were like, anybody that's getting off here, feel free, and if you're connecting to Austin, just stay seated. And yeah, I started texting everybody, and you were like, tell me your flight number so I can track you, because I like to.
What? I like to track people's flights.
It had the same kind of energy as girls that like to pop pimples.
I also like to pop pimples.
Boom.
But I mean, what? I like to track airplanes, and with this new website I found not all that long ago, you can see like all the air traffic in the area and who you're passing, and just get all the good stuff. You can get an actual picture of the physical airplane, the actual airplane you're on, not in the real time, but like a picture of it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, not to bring down the mood too much, because I don't think it should be. It's not a very sad thing. It can be sad, but I would rather it be treated as a what happens in the flow of life. Our dearly beloved Cartman, English Bulldog, 12 plus years, passed away, and that is what happens when you're a 12-year-old English Bulldog. And it's funny when you have a pet that long, that you go back and forth in the language and the thought processes of, that's our little baby, but also age 8, age 10, started calling him old man. Let's go old man, or pipe up old man, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that was... I'll never forget where I was when I heard the news. Because, that's a real bummer to me. Cartman was a big part of my life as well.
He was a blast, like, for all 12 years, right until the end. Perfect pet experience. Great as a guard dog, great as a dog to love. 100% recommend. And yeah, I think again, like right up to the end, he was having a good time. Just wasn't going to be having a good time, kind of moving forward. So Ash and I felt good about it. Sometimes I'm sure other people listening to this can relate to, like, should we do it now? Should we not do it now? And it's something that Ash and I talked about for basically the last 2 years of, hey, what are the conditions, and what would we feel comfortable with, go ahead and letting him go. And that criteria was met, and we weren't going to mess around with it. So got his Ash's, Ashley picked up his Ash's nose print, paw plaster thing yesterday, I believe, or maybe the day before, but while I was gone. And it was funny when I picked up the bag, and I was like, it's heavy. It's like Cartman's heavy.
Yeah, ashes can weigh a lot. I've held a few people's ashes, and it always surprised me how dense they are.
Yeah.
It was like a whole person.
So yeah, it's sad, but it's also, in me personally thinking about it, it's, we talk about like dog parents, pet parents versus like actual parents. Like, this is what's supposed to happen. Like, if
the dog's not supposed to outlive you.
Yeah. Certain birds might, but yeah, that's
Turtles.
the pets. If everything goes right, you're gonna have several generations of them, and you're gonna dump a bunch of love into them, and then they're gonna pass on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is sincerely the difference between pets and kids. Is the kids will outlive you, ideally.
Yeah, I mean, super sad, but again, part of life.
He crushed it. It's sad, but I'm so happy that he did so well for so long and brought so much joy and happiness to me and Ash. So good on him. And now Ash and I are making travel plans and doing stuff we couldn't do, and then after that we'll
back to being dinks.
Describe.
Double income, no kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
That was what the dinks on Doug was. You remember his neighbors were the dinks?
Yeah, I remember they were the dinks.
Husband, wife, no kids.
Funny.
Both had jobs.
I never put that together.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Yeah.
So that happened right before that. I had COVID, and I've been vaccinated. Got a booster before Corey's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for those of you who remember, it's episode 1. It's not that long ago. And bounced back from COVID fairly quickly, I think. And then I've been doing a lot of business travel. Went to DC the last weeks back to back. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Where are they putting you up in these? Are you in like a Hampton Inn, or are they putting you up in like a decent place, or?
It's
not hating on Hampton Inns.
Yeah. No, the policy is $250 a night or less. So it's kind of just up to you, whatever fits in that parameters. I'm a Hilton fan, and definitely have landed on Home 2 Suites in the Hilton family of hotels. So that's where I stayed 2 weeks ago to go to an event for my customers. And then last week we had a company trade show type thing where the customers came to us and got to have drinks with my boss's boss and his boss, which at that point we're talking about the VP of sales for the US. And, different VPs of global VPs of product this and product that, and some folks that I've been there longer than they have. Actually, all 3 of those folks that I'm thinking of, I've been there longer than they have, but folks who came in on kind of wobbly legs, obviously very talented people who have been VPs of places before this, but as you remember, because you used to work there, there's a learning curve to what we do and why we do it the way we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped out one of those people. She remembered me, and that was awesome. And yeah, so that was cool. Just a lot of travel and a lot of fun travel. Ate at Yardbird night before last,
mm-hmm.
which is a place you can get chicken and waffles and fancy cocktails.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of moving and shaking, yeah.
Can't say my last few weeks have been that eventful.
Mm-hmm.
Before this, I was trying to think of some highlights over the last few weeks, and
yeah, you had one you shared with me that I'm not gonna give away the details.
What was that?
You secured a meeting for a particular.
Oh, I mean that's. I really don't think about work like that in terms of highlights, lowlights,
mm-hmm.
unless I get fired from something or whatever. Work is just on its own playing field. I did set a meeting for my company with Koch Industries, which is we all know, a very stand-up organization led by some really amazing people. I did get an update today though that it's going to demo tomorrow, and it's looking really good, and they're really hungry for what we have to offer, so that's pretty cool. But again, like I said, I guess if I had more exciting stuff going on at work, I'd talk about it, but that's not really. That's just day-to-day work stuff.
I'm traveling more, but
If I was traveling, I'd be talking about my travels.
I think it's fun/funny, just the 2 of us, and how just 2 random dudes are the small part, little cogs in the machine of world industry. I forget if I shared who my customers are. I think I just said government on here. But some of the things that you hear and find out, and so couldn't do XYZ without what we do, and you're going to be doing the same for this big part of oil and gas, or facilitating that process in the small ways that we facilitate these processes of these giant Fortune 10, Fortune 100, enormous global organizations.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah, I feel you. But I guess other than the work, I'm going through my phone just trying to get any glimmers of highlights. And the only way I'm doing that is looking through any pictures I've taken over the last month. Because usually if I take a picture of something, it's something kind of notable.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about a couple of those. Wait, we haven't put one of these out since your birthday.
That seems right, yeah.
The last one we put out was September 30th.
Nice.
So,
which is funny because your birthday is not tomorrow, but the day after.
Yeah. I got a haircut for your birthday on your birthday. I mean, it wasn't really for your birthday.
No, that's wrong.
I joked that I did it to look good for you on your day, but
yeah.
I don't get haircuts very often, so that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I usually go like 4 to 6 months. Just let my hair do its thing, go through different phases of the hair, dress it differently, and then cut it all off.
Do you go to the same place every time? Do you have a person?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a dream of mine one day. Like, I feel like I'd feel a lot more grown up if I like had an actual barber and I didn't go to like Supercuts or something. And
I think it's essential for the ladies because that's definitely a big deal for Ashley.
Not all of them. I've seen numerous like people ladies our age going into the same places as me.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it also just kind of depends on if you can afford it, because ladies' haircuts are wildly more expensive than men's.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And maybe Ashley is more of a edge case because she has very unique hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you go to the same vendor at least, or the same place?
I've gone the same place the last maybe like 3 times, but I'm not like committed to them. If there was like another place closer, or I guess there was one time I went to somewhere different just because when I wanted to go, the wait times were all super crazy long.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So I went to somewhere I didn't normally go, but for the most part, I go to that. I don't even know if it might be Great Clips, it might be Supercuts. It's one of the two. Right,
definitely 2 places that are real.
Right by the Target at 35 and 45.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no. But I got a haircut. It looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty happy about it. A couple days later, I saw a DeLorean in the wild.
That's right.
That was pretty fun. I always like seeing cool cars out in the wild. I mean, the only reason that car is really cool is just because of the movie, but that was something. Then, moving along, McDonald's had their limited edition adult Happy Meals.
Yeah, they sure did.
And got one of those, and I was lucky enough to get the Hamburglar toy, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Nathan has some feelings on it, but
they did this. They made this choice.
It was a bold choice.
Yeah. It's just really unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they picked like an unsettling artist, and I think I mean, I assume it's meant to provoke that sort of like.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I don't know. I compare it to what is it? Biblically accurate depictions of angels, where it's all these different eyes.
Yeah.
It's got a strong that vibe. You guys were having fun when I was in my COVID fugue state or whatever, fugue state, putting him like in different places, or Ashley was. I assumed she was sending you pictures and laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just got a kick of your initial reaction to it, which I know you were joking. Like, I know you don't think it's actually a possessed, like, demonic, like, what are they called? Not, is it a totem? No. What am I thinking of? It doesn't matter.
Totem sounded good to me.
But yeah, when Nathan got sick, why did I have to go over? Oh, no. Oh yeah, I was bringing over the Cowboys mugs you guys left over here.
Oh yeah.
Because there was a football game, the Cowboys game, and even though you're sick, like, you still needed to have your cup there because that's just part of your Cowboys thing.
Yep.
And that's when took it over, gave it to her, and just had her just kind of like put it around like it was watching you and just moving location.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because like the eyes do really like, they're staring at you. All 4 of the eyes on there are staring at you pretty hard.
Pretty strong dislike.
So that was a highlight. I guess I had multiple McDonald's highlights over the past month. I also tried a Filet-O-Fish for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's alright. So moving on.
I had fish tacos for the first time in a long time on this last trip too.
How were they?
They were great. It was part of there's a guy at work named Jose who's technical specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 6 years that I've been there, has gone from just being like a technical right-hand guy like I have to the leader of the leaders.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, great guy. And he had dinner for the technical folks and invited me to it, which to me is so much like in the Army days where the NCOs have, their fun and stuff that they do, and the officers have their fun and stuff that they do. And if the NCOs be like, hey, come hang out with us, it would be like, yeah, fuck yeah. It had big that energy. And yeah, he did a like a pre-made menu at this like fancy Mexican/Spanish restaurant in DC, and that was just part of one of the courses was fish tacos, and yeah, they're great.
Hell yeah. I guess just to finish up on my McDonald's thing, they also then re-released those Halloween pails for the Happy Meals.
Yeah.
Definitely had to do that. I got 2 of them. I got it's called a McGoblin, but it looks like a witch. It's the green one.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the ghost one, McBoo. Oh shit! And one more McDonald's thing. Mm-hmm. The McRib is back.
Okay.
I had one of those this past Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best one I've ever had. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Super happy. So that's all my McDonald's updates. It was a busy.
When you sent the picture of the buckets, I immediately sent it to Justin because I have a niece. It's relatively new, 2 going on 3, and I was like, "Gotta get her this." I don't know if he did or not, but that was definitely the first thing I thought of was, let's connect Justin with this information.
Well, I'm glad that helped.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm glad to be a part of that train of information. I guess one other thing, just going through my photos that I will bring up. I gotta come clean, and I do sincerely apologize about this. I only had my best intentions. But remember a few weeks ago, I sent you and Ashley a picture of a new lighter that I got, and it was a Cowboys lighter. Because I'm trying to be part of the team. The very next game they lost after me using that lighter. So I have since stopped using the lighter. It is gone. It's out of this world. I'm sorry. I was maybe the universe was like, you're doing too much too soon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I tried, but then got rid of it. It's been good ever since.
So my big takeaway is I appreciate you like correcting course and that you care that much. That game that they lost was against the Eagles, though. And it was such a much closer game than it had any right to be. So
that's why I feel so bad, because maybe if I didn't get the lighter, that closeness, you could have overcome it. But
yeah, and if we won afterwards, and I think that's every little thing that we change that they win, we stick with that thing. So I feel you. I definitely appreciate the effort, man. That's cool.
But I needed to get that off my soul. I didn't need it weighing on me.
I by no means think that I wouldn't put that on you, that using that lighter is what did it, because we should have, if we had lost 60-0, folks would have been like, oh yeah. But instead, I think even going into the fourth quarter, it was nice and close.
Speaking of the Eagles,
can we do one more before we get into right now?
I don't care.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not my best effort. So, we were trying to figure this out, Not exactly sure how long we've been doing it. I think maybe we tracked it down to like the very first time we did it together was maybe 08, 09, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time we all carved pumpkins together as a group at Halloween time. And there's been some missed years over the years. I mean, Nathan, I think, was like in Afghanistan for one of them. And
yeah.
We didn't live in the same city for some time.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, now I think pretty much since maybe we got to Austin or pretty close to it.
Certainly every year since 2013.
Yeah.
We've done.
That's like the longest running tradition we have is our friend family is carving pumpkins together for Halloween time.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it again. We kept it alive. Sometimes, some years, I go kind of all out and we'll really put a lot of time and effort and work. And I've had some really, really funny, cool pumpkins come out. This year, I didn't have it in me, especially because Domino's fucked me that night. They fucked me real good.
You were quite upset.
So dry, like it just felt horrible. And I was just really bummed. I was just like, I was really looking forward to that being like our, let's carve pumpkins, have some pizza, just have a whole thing. And I couldn't have it. And I was just bummed. So I was just like, I just totally kind of mailed it in and just carved a little spooky ghost with didn't draw anything on the pumpkin, didn't trace it, just freehanded the whole thing.
Yeah.
In and out in about 15 minutes. But I got it done. Another one in the books.
I know in the last 2-3 years, maybe forever, I've definitely been very ambitious with my projects, and I've always been the last one to finish. After.
Well, it's also because you get the biggest fucking pumpkin they have available.
It's because they got so many details that I have to have the space to do them.
You get freaking beach balls. Like, they're not even bigger, like medicine balls.
But this year, usually I'll have some big inspiration. Like last year, Ash and I went to see the new Candyman movie at a drive-thru, and we both did Candyman pumpkins. And I had to kind of complex honeycomb situation going on mine along with the dude, blah blah blah. This year I really just picked a technique that I wanted to do. And this one, when I was searching through inspirations, I saw one where it was a jack-o'-lantern with melon ball eyes and the skin in the middle of the eyes to still make it look like an eye. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, and did that. And another thing with the tongue, but also only took me 15 minutes. This was not some of them are hour and a half, 2 hour things.
I've definitely spent 3 hours on a pumpkin before, and honestly, had things worked out better and I would have gotten my pizza I fucking should have had. I'm sorry, I love pizza. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a real thing for me. It's dangerous, but anyway, I was thinking about potentially carving Tom Cruise's face and wearing a Top Gun helmet, or his flight helmet.
I would have thought the Aviators.
I mean, that was a thought too. I mean, it was going to be very Tom Cruise-y. But that would have taken a lot of effort, and I would have needed a lot of pizza to get me through that.
Did you search for stencils or anything, or was it going to be freehand?
It was going to be... I saw a stencil, but it was a different Tom Cruise, I guess from a year that wasn't from one of the Top Guns, so he looked a little different, because he has... I don't know. I think he looks a little different as he goes. So it wasn't quite the Top Gun Tom Cruise I wanted, but I'm not that good to where I could actually change anything to make it look more like that. But yeah, there was a stencil out there that I saw, and some other pumpkins that have been done in the past like that. And really, next year, I'm gonna make sure next year I'm all prepared to have a really good pumpkin night. I'm gonna even buy an actual Dremel tool set.
Yeah.
So I can get real detailed and whatnot with it. I think that would be... I've been wanting to use a Dremel on a pumpkin for at least 3 years now.
I remember it from last year.
But just hadn't gotten around to do it. But next year I'll plan better. I'll get one and make the greatest fucking pumpkin anybody's ever seen.
Word. Do you know what pizza place you want to get tomorrow night?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm really not like super picky on anything this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving up a lot of my asks for next year because I want next year to be a destination birthday for me.
Word.
So I was even thinking maybe like a hot and ready tomorrow or something.
I heard that rumor, and you could aim higher.
I mean, I was thinking about trying Pizza Hut again too, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They kind of wronged me. I don't know if I'm ready to forgive them yet.
Well, if you just make up your mind, obviously we'll bring it over. So if you pick a place that wronged you, you won't know if it's even the same specific place. You'll just have that pizza.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were going to talk about a peculiarity in sports history that's going on tonight?
We got something pretty special going on tonight. We got the Houston Texans hosting the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football, while up in Philadelphia you got the Phillies hosting the Astros in a pivotal Game 5 of the World Series. I mean, I don't even know how to feel about it. I mean, the Texans game, I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want the Eagles to lose just because I'm kind of anti-Eagles in general. But the Texans, they're not going to compete for anything this year. Honestly, let's tank and get as good of a draft pick as we can get at this point.
I'm genuinely concerned that, I don't know if you heard or not, but Brandon Cooks is not going to play.
Yeah, I read that. It sounds like he might be holding out.
Yeah, so it's basically the only other... I know Nico Collins is banged up. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but Dameon Pierce has been a really good rookie running back. Just a really good running back, period.
DP.
You can get injured at the beginning of the season and be ready to go for next season. They got to protect this kid and not let him get hurt trying to give him 30 snaps or 30 attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so the Texans not super high on my radar, but the Astros Phillies. This series has been one for the ages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I read so many comments after the games, just I want to see what people are saying, and it's just like every third comment is just like, how can you not be romantic about baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is just such a playoff baseball. And I mean, I understand the regular season is way too long. It's even too long for me, and I've loved baseball since I was a wee baby. But playoff baseball, man, it's magic happens. And the thing is, you just gotta be patient. Like, it's not one of those kind of things where stuff is happening every second of every minute of the game. Like, you're gonna have downtime. You're gonna have really shitty announcers. Like, really shitty announcers like we've had. Have you noticed that? Like, they're just so blatantly pro-Philly, anti-Houston.
Yeah. Man, I gotta tell you, I listen to the same political talk show every morning, and I have for going on 20 years. They are not about Houston. They're very much Boston, New York, Acela corridor, as they say. And they're still talking about, like, Astros as the cheaters, Astros as the team of evil.
Well, it sounds like the Phillies might have been cheating in Game 3, but
Is it cheating if, like, the pitcher is tipping? It's not like stealing. It's not like using technology or anything.
I mean, I don't know how they were getting their information. I don't know if it was just...
Well, it looked like Bryce Harper saw something and just relayed that, like, literally by mouth to the next batter, not by, like... Yeah.
If the Astros did that, they'd be saying we were cheating. So, I'm going to say they're cheating.
Okay. Talking about, like, the romanticism of the game. Well, first of all, talking about patience in baseball, like, that's everything, right? It's not basketball, it's not football, it's like a turn-based strategy game. It's not a real-time shooter.
Well, football's very turn-based strategy, too.
That's true, yeah, it's play-by-play, yeah.
But the plays are longer, usually, and a lot more is going on with each one. Like, there are 22 people... give or take one or two, engaged in every single play. Mm-hmm. Whereas in baseball, it could just be like pitcher, catcher, batter. But yeah, it's a different thing. Like, you gotta understand it's a slower sport. Like, it's not it's not meant to be like super fast paced. But once you get over that and like you see what's going on, especially in the playoffs, especially in the World Series where records are being broken, people's legacies are being cemented.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, hats off to the Phillies. They have been doing just incredibly well this series. That Game 3, putting up 5 home runs against us.
Bryce Harper specifically has been fun to watch.
But it's funny, it was interesting, I was reading this. If they didn't just have recently created the universal designated hitter, he'd have been out for the season in May. Because he has one of his CLs.
And another rule is how they changed how many teams are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Phillies wouldn't have gotten in either if they hadn't made that change.
But that change, I'm okay with, because it actually, what it did was it pushed the end of the playoffs, like the World Series, back about a week later than it normally does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, normally, even if it goes to Game 7 is like maybe November 1st, November 2nd.
Yeah.
But never this late into November. And, I mean, again, Nathan said it earlier, my birthday's on Saturday. As a young child, it was my dream to see the Astros play in the World Series on my birthday.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean,
it's gonna happen no matter what, right?
Yeah, problem is though, I'm probably not gonna be able to watch it.
You'll be with the fam?
With the fam. It was such a hard decision. Like, I really wanted to be home Saturday evening, hang out with you guys, do my birthday stuff, watch the game. But talking to both my brother and my father separately, like, they would have been so sad if I didn't go watch the Michigan game with them on Saturday. Like, they just would have been really, really sad. And I can't put that on them, even if it's my birthday and I can do what I want to. I choose not to bum my dad and my brother out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll be rooting for Michigan at the same time I'm rooting for the Astros for you. And that's the nice thing about baseball is you're totally amenable to having two things on at the same time.
And that's honestly one reason why I kind of really, really want the Astros to win tonight. So then, if they don't win on Saturday, I get to watch all of Game 7 on Sunday with nothing else to take away from it. Although if the Astros could put away the World Series on my birthday, that would be pretty freaking magical as well.
Right?
So
definitely I've been seeing a lot of the this day in baseball history, so and so won the World Series for like the last week because of what you were describing of it getting pushed back. And what I like about baseball that's a little bit different from certainly football is that so many more people can afford tickets to these baseball games. And we've got a bunch of high school friends. I'm thinking of one in particular, Chris, that has been going to these games. I think I showed you the video where he was just screaming in such a high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
Because it was like an amazing walk-off by Jordan. I would have been high-pitched screaming too. But yeah, just seeing not just like videos on social media, but like, it's my boy Chris. That's been pretty cool.
Although the tickets aren't always that affordable. I was reading something earlier that, like, I guess some people were paying like around like $2,000 a ticket for this last game in Philadelphia. I mean, given they were like really good tickets, like 3 rows behind the dugout, like you're right there.
But compare that to like a playoff game or a Super Bowl where you're like on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and where
way
like
more.
and where the Super Bowl, like $2,000 might get you the last seat in the highest section. But yeah, it is a lot more affordable. I mean, even and especially throughout the whole season, like you can get some stupid cheap tickets to get into stadiums.
Yeah, same guy Chris was saying at Minute Maid where they were having like a watch along because obviously the game was in Philadelphia. There's $1 seats. And you had to pay for parking, obviously, but $1 to get in, and I guess sit wherever you want and watch on the big screen.
I wonder if they had, like, how much concessions they had going, if any. But, that's really cool. Yeah, man, I really want the Astros to win this year, and we can just finally get past this cheating stuff, and people can be like, all right, this team did it legit.
Yeah.
Because there's absolutely no way we could have done anything wrong this week with all the eyes on us all the time.
So definitely Altuve was there then. I'm not sure if Bregman was.
Yep.
Okay. But
and Gurriel, I think, are the only three that are
great.
That are still there that were a part of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Or around the whole thing.
Because I believe rookie, but definitely Gold Glove winner Pena.
Yep.
Was not.
Absolutely.
Jordan absolutely was not, and is definitely like so many people's favorite baseball player.
He's mine.
He's
so
awesome.
bad. Like I really hope next season the Astros do another drop of their Space City jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those? You know what those look like?
Almost certainly, but it doesn't come directly to mind.
I want a Yordan Alvarez number 44 Space City jersey so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it when they dropped them earlier this year. I should have got one, but I was like, yeah, they'll be around. I guess it was really a limited time thing, and they're not just like keep making them.
And this is just to have around, or to actually like wear when you watch TV?
I'd wear it
cool
for stuff, wherever, like going to sporting events or I don't know. Yeah, just going out.
Word.
It's a fucking beautiful jersey. I love the use of color in the blues.
One more thing about the kind of romantic nature of baseball and the World Series specifically. Christian Javier. So the Astros pitched a no-hitter.
Mm-hmm. Combined
with 4 different pitchers. But it's my understanding, Christian Javier, like so many other players, not native born to the U.S., it's not always easy to get your parents into the country, but then also to get the tickets and all of that. His parents saw his first Major League Baseball game in person,
mm-hmm.
where he was however many innings of that no-hitter, and that's really cool.
I read a cool stat. He's the first catcher to catch a no-hitter in the World Series since Yogi Berra.
Who is?
Christian Javier?
He's the pitcher.
Oh, who?
Not Maldonado, but...
It was Model... Who's the other guy?
Vasquez? Christian Vasquez?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the one we got from Boston.
Yeah.
Then we were like, he's going to solve all of our Maldonado not batting amazing issues, and then Maldonado's like, I can bat amazing.
Well, catcher also is one of those things, like, you really can't play every single game. Like, you need some time off. Like, it takes a lot out of you. But I'm sorry, I got people confused. But still, yeah, the first catcher to catch a World Series no-hitter since Yogi Berra. But Christian Javier, another interesting thing I saw was, like, I guess before the game, he was talking with his parents, and they're just like, just don't let him get any hits. And then in a post-game interview, he was like, yeah, my parents just said don't let him get any hits, so I didn't. Mm-hmm. Which is just...
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
It just warms my fucking heart.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the game tonight.
Yeah. So we got fun planned for tonight. Yeah, so we're just shy of 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Just for all you guys. There's nobody listening.
Yeah.
Maybe Justin's still listening, because Justin's awesome.
I mean, thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole... I mean, I guess we had a lot of time go by, but I think we covered about all the interesting stuff. Got it on tape. And, yeah, we gotta exercise our podcasting muscles. I haven't talked this much consecutively in a while now, so... Jaw's a little sore, so just gotta practice it. Get back into it, and then hopefully, depending on Nathan's travel schedule, we can get back to a more routine structure of these. And, yeah, if anybody's listening, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. And, yeah, let's go Astros.
Let's go Astros. Bye.